A friend in need. Money fell down on his knees and hands, shut his eyes tight, pushed the door with his head, and entered Rajam's room in the role of a blind puppy. Swaminathan crawled behind him with shut eyes, mewing for all he was worth. They moved round and round the room, Rajan adding to the interest of the game by mewing and barking in answer every few seconds. The blind puppy brushed its side against a leg and, thinking that it belonged to Rajam, softly bit the calf muscle. Imagine its confusion when it opened its eyes and saw that it was biting its enemy, Somu. The blind kitten nestled close to a leg and scratched it with its paw. Opening its eyes, it found that it was fondling a leg that belonged to its enemy, Shankar. Mani remained stunned for a moment and then scrambled to his feet. He looked around, his face twitching with shame and rage. He saw the pea sitting in a corner, his eyes twinkling with mischief, and felt impelled to take him by the throat. He turned round and saw Rajam regarding him steadily, his mouth still quivering with a smothered grin. As for Swaminathan, he felt that the best place for himself would be the darkness and obscurity under a table or a chair. "What do you mean by this, Rajam?" Mani asked. "Why are you so wild?" "It was your fault," said Mani vehemently. "I didn't know." He looked around. Well, I didn't ask you to crawl and bark, did I?" Somu and company laughed. Mani glared around. "I am going away, Rajam. This is not the place for me." Rajam replied, "You may go away if you don't want me to see you or speak to you any more." Mani fidgeted uneasily. Rajam took him aside and soothed him. Rajam then turned to Swaminathan, who was lost in bottomless misery. He comforted and flattered him by saying that it was the best imitation of a cat and dog that he had ever witnessed in his life. He admitted that for a few minutes he wondered whether he was watching a real cat and a dog. They would get prizes if they did it in fairs. If Swaminathan and Mani would be good enough to repeat the fun, he would be delighted and even ask his father to come and watch. This was soothing. Swaminathan and Mani felt proud of themselves, and after the round of eating that followed, they were perfectly happy, except when they thought of the other three in the room. They were in this state of mind when Rajam began a lecture on friendship. He said impressive things about friendship, quoting from his book The Story of the Dying Old Man and the Faggots, which proved that union was strength. A friend in need was a friend indeed. The company was greatly impressed. Rajam then invited everyone to come forward and say that they would have no more enemies. If Shankar said it, he would get a bound notebook. If Swaminathan said it, he would get a clockwork engine. If Somu said it, he would get a belt. And if Mani said it, he would get a nice pocket knife. And the pea would get a marvelous little pen. He threw open the cupboard and displayed the prizes. There was silence for some time as each sat gnawing his nails. Rajam was sweating with his peacemaking efforts. The pea was the first to rise. He stood before the cupboard and said, "Let me see the fountain pen." Rajam gave it to him. The pea turned it round and gave it back without any comment. "Why, don't you like it?" Rajam asked. The pea kept staring into the cupboard and said, "Can I have that box?" He pointed at a tiny box with a lot of yellow and black designs on it and a miniature Taj Mahal on its lid. Rajam said, "I can't give you that. I want it." He paused. He had 2 more boxes like that in his trunk. He changed his mind. "No, I don't want it. You can take the box if you like." In a short while, Mani was sharpening a knife on his palm. Somu was trying a belt on. Shankar was fingering a thick-bound notebook, and Swaminathan was jealously clasping a green engine to his bosom.